Hey guys, welcome back to Struggleville 2 YouTube channel. For this video, I'm going to give you a little tour of the newest member of the family, 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Decided to trade in the ZR2, switch things up a little bit. So I thought for this video, I'll talk about why I got rid of the ZR2, why I decided on the Gladiator, and then we'll do a little tour of the Jeep to show you what it's all about, or at least what I figured out so far that it's all about. Really was never interested in picking up a Jeep, never looked into Jeeps, don't know anything about Jeeps. I think before buying this, I don't know if I've ever even ridden in a Jeep. My dad had a Suzuki Sidekick when I was a kid, and that's got to be the closest I've been to being in a Jeep, which actually is kind of close. Jeep people are going to be very offended probably by that. But anyway, decided to trade in the ZR2. It was a 2018 Chevy Colorado ZR2 Midnight Edition. I really like that truck, actually. Bought it new, and it just broke 25,000 miles, so it was still low miles. But some issues were mounting up, mostly electrical, and boy, do I hate electrical issues. So the backup camera would come on randomly as you were driving down the road, and the problem with that, besides just being generally annoying, is then you can't access the navigation, you can't change any climate control stuff, you can't change the radio station or what you're listening to streaming through your phone. It completely disables that screen. The dealership had fixed it once, and that lasted about a year, and it kept doing it again, so that was annoying. The rear locker quit working, and they had to change the body control module, but when the rear locker wouldn't work, then you couldn't lock the front either. So you're paying extra money for those front and rear lockers, and it kind of sucks when that doesn't work. So that body control module had to get changed. I had the transmission stutter that seems like every Colorado gets. They changed the fluid in that, and it went away. I haven't really followed up with other people who have more miles if that ever comes back or if that's a permanent fix. Had a couple of lights go out on the center cluster, and apparently you can't just change one, you have to change out the entire panel to fix that. A couple of times I'd start it up and the power steering wouldn't work. You'd get a message on the information center in front of you. I believe that was an electric, maybe they all are nowadays, but so you wouldn't have power steering, you have to turn off the truck and then start it back up again. And I just felt like, at some point these electrical issues are gonna be money out of my pocket, and it's been 5 years. I'm kind of ready for something different anyways. So I was looking at new trucks, and I spent a couple of months every day looking at dealerships and looking at different things, and I was really initially just thinking about getting a new ZR2. I even thought about a Silverado ZR2, but I more wanted the Colorados, because if mine would have not had any other problems, that probably would have been my first choice. But there's no ZR2s on lots anywhere, any dealership. I checked Auto Trader and just let it check the entire United States for a new Colorado ZR2, and at least at this time not a single thing came up. So I thought, okay, I don't really want to wait any longer, and they're just not around. The other thing is, I was looking at these dealerships for different trucks. I just felt like so many things were the same. It was just looking at the same truck over and over, just scrolling through like boring, same. Is that a Ford or a Chevy? I don't know. They look identical. Boring. So the uniqueness was a selling point for me. So like I said, I hadn't even considered Jeeps, didn't even look at Jeeps. I don't even know if I realized that Jeep made a pickup truck. I don't care about Jeeps. So, but somehow I stumbled on one of these one night, and I stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning looking at different Jeeps, and the next day I was at a dealership and I bought one. So I'm kind of impulsive in that way. So then let's get into this specifically. I want to show you guys the window sticker and just a couple of options that this one had, and we'll get into that. Real quick, we'll go over a couple of things that's listed on the window sticker. So it's a 2023 Jeep Gladiator. It's the Rubicon 4x4, obviously. Base price of $51,245. Standard equipment for the Jeep Rubicon. Let's see, anything worth pointing out: the backup camera, the four-wheel drive. It has front and rear lockers. The rear end ratio in it now is 4:10. 17-inch rims, 33-inch tires. You get various skid plates. You get the wiring harness for a trailer. The electronic sway bar. You can disconnect the sway bar. Push button start. Of course, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Alpine Premium Audio, 7-inch color display. Now the optional equipment that this one has, the granite crystal metallic clear coat. The granite crystal metallic clear coat exterior paint was $5.95. The leather trimmed bucket seats, that's full length floor console with premium armrest, leather wrapped park brake handle, and the shift knob was $19.95. The customer preferred package 24R, the cold weather group, was $13.95. That includes the heated seats, heated steering wheel, remote start, and the all-weather mats. Were $170. That's additional. The all-weather mats, $170. The automatic 8-speed transmission was $2,000. The body color Freedom top 3-piece hardtop was $29.95, and the body color fender flares was $9.95. So the total MSRP on this guy was $63,185. So getting into purchasing this one, I went to a dealership that I saw online, had about 20 different Gladiators, and I wanted to go there just because I hadn't seen one in person or never paid attention to it in person, and I wanted to, see all the different options, different things they come with. I knew I wanted either the Rubicon or Mojave trim levels. They're kind of the higher end trim levels. There's also a high altitude, but I never even saw one of those, so I don't know what that's all about. So I was definitely sticking with those, but even within that, there are so many things, and that's ultimately one of the things I really liked about the Jeeps is there's so much you can customize and tinker around with, and I just felt like it'll keep me occupied longer. I won't get as bored with it because there's so many different, doodads and things that you can change around with it. So anyway, when I got there, I was originally looking at some white ones, but I realized when I got there that I really liked the fenders being the same as the paint color. A lot of them were just black. It was like a black plastic. And one thing I know about the fender flares on the ZR2 is that black plastic didn't hold up well over time. Like, this still has a lot of plastic, but at the fenders, and I live on a gravel road, so this paint's going to get all chipped up and look like trash in no time. But the black would get scratched up, and on my black truck, that plastic turned gray when the rest of the truck was black. So I thought, you know what, I really like the painted fenders. I think it looks better that way. And then also the top, you have a couple of different options with the top. It can be black or it can be body color like this one is, or then they also have a soft top, which actually the dealership, as part of our deal, is gonna give me the soft top as well. They're gonna be installing that on Tuesday, so hopefully we'll have a little update showing that. But I really liked the body color hard top to go with it. See, we also have the rock rails along the bottom. I already bought new Nerf bar steps that will be here tomorrow, so we'll be installing that and doing a video on that if you're interested. I'm 4 feet tall, so this is already fun to get into. So I wanted the steps for sure, but after looking at hundreds of pictures of different Gladiators, I've decided, or I think I've decided, I could, easily change my mind, impulsive again. I want the 2-inch Mopar lift. I think I'm going to go 37-inch tires and then change out the rear end to 488 from the 410 that's in there now. And that seems like a really good combination. I saw a lot of people go with that Mopar lift, and I think if I have the dealership do it, everything warranty-wise should still say the same, which I'd prefer. And I was looking at people with 35-inch tires and 37-inch tires with that same lift, and I don't like a huge gap here between the wheel and the fender well. I like it a little bit more, I guess, a stuffed look. So I really liked the 37-inch tires, so that's the way I'm going with it. So with the Rubicon, you do have the front and rear lockers. I already changed out the antenna. I didn't like that huge antenna here, and then people said that it'll actually smack the truck with high winds or when they're on the highway or something. Either way, I didn't like how it looked. Now, this gets no reception. I mean, you can see there's no radio stations around here, but it gets nothing at all. I was even in the same town as the radio station and couldn't get reception. So you could almost just cap this. I don't know if you need an antenna at all. I mean, if you're going to go with this, just get rid of the thing entirely. But I mostly streamed from my phone, so that wasn't the worry. Mostly wanted it to look nicer. And it's really cool how obviously this is just like a Wrangler. You can take off the doors, and the windshield comes down, which I don't know if I've ever seen people do that. And I don't know what happens with the windshield wipers when you do that, but apparently the windshield can come down. The top comes off in pieces when we get inside I'll show you that. That's really cool, actually. Eventually want to change out the bumper. I've seen they have like a stubby bumper that'll be all steel. I still got to figure out. I feel like I have to go with the winch, even though I don't know if I would ever need it or use it. I think the winch would be really cool. Maybe put a light bar here. I kind of wish this one had the auxiliary light package. I think that's kind of an important package that should be included. But it doesn't have it, so I'll have to come up with some other thing. Also, you can get a front-facing camera, and I think it'd be pretty easy to mount it somewhere in this like little honeycomb grills or something. I think a front-facing camera would be pretty cool. See, we got the fog lights. I kind of like the gray and red. I feel like a dark color with the red contrast is kind of overplayed, like so many people do it. But unless I want to change out all this stuff, I'm already halfway to a red combo, so I'll probably just have to run with that. It does have that push button start. Again, when we get inside, I can show you that too. So this is my first vehicle. It doesn't have a real key. Actually, it does have a real key also. It just doesn't use it. 5-foot bed, pretty much the only thing I think you can get with any vehicle nowadays. Seems like nothing has a full-size bed. If I could have got an 8-foot bed with something, I might have went a different direction. Got the hooks here at the back bumper. I didn't get the LED lighting package. I'm considering it, but I don't like sequential lights. You know, where it goes I don't like that. I don't want it. So I gotta see if there's regular LED, and then maybe just stick old-fashioned. Maybe stick old-fashioned. So we do have the torsion bar, or whatever they use to get the slow drop. You see, I already scratched the shit out of the bed. Didn't even have them for a week. Now, another part of my deal with the dealership is they're going to put a Line X premium bed liner in it, so that's getting put in on Tuesday as well, so I don't have to worry about the scratches. That'll all get taken care of. You can see it has the rear sliding glass. It's not powered, just normal, I guess. I'm also going to put a tonneau cover on the back. Looks like it's really easy to put on and off. I had a truck in 2001 that had it. I more or less liked it. So let's go it again. I can always take it off if I don't like it. But give more dry storage back here. All right, let's go inside. At least open a door. So I really like how basic it is, and it's weird nowadays to see exposed bolts and stuff in a vehicle, because so many times they cap everything off and you can't really see how anything's connected. Like the handlebar over there, the grab bar has the bolt sticking out, and obviously the hinges have the bolt sticking out on the door. But I just think it lends itself to so much customizing. Which, by the way, one thing I really liked about the interior was the two-tone with the seats. And at least on that lot, I didn't notice any other one that had two-tone. It's possible I didn't pay enough attention. You can see it's embroidered with Rubicon. You have the LED lights, and then the speakers are there also for the roll bar. See, the door panels are pretty plain. You have power mirrors, the power locks. They have a little plastic thing it looks like you can put here. I'm not a huge fan of the little net. That's going to get wore out and be baggy if I ever actually use it. So putting some kind of a thing over there might be beneficial. Also, I got to get some kind of a sill guard. I'm going to go with the plastic ones that say Gladiator on them. It's just like a peel and stick. With the ZR2, if anyone remembers, back when I first got that, I did a video where I just put tread tape there. It was like 2-inch wide tread tape and stuck it on. And that lasted up until the day I got rid of it. The driver's side obviously gets used the most. Had a few little holes where I had worn through it, but you know, that's 5 years that it lasted, so that was pretty good. But this time I'm going to go with that plastic sill guards. All manual stuff on the seats. There's no power seat. You get the lumbar support, the raising it up and down, and then the back, forward and back. One of these is the bed lights, and one of these is fog lights. Maybe bed light, fog light. Of course, auto headlights, our dimmer switch for inside. Have all our steering wheel controls. One thing I'm still going to have to get used to is the power window switches all being in the center console there. That's a little goofy, but I guess when you can take the doors off, that's where they have to be. Although if the doors are off, you're not using those switches at all. Whatever. The little infotainment thing. You can go through various... It doesn't show right now, but I've been averaging about 20 miles to the gallon with it. This is the V6, it's not the diesel. Here we go. I don't know if that's actually helpful at all. They really pumped up the pressure in the tires. You can disconnect the sway bar with the button over here. Your front and rear locker switch is right here. And also you have a mechanical linkage, I guess, for shifting from 2-wheel to 4-wheel to 4-low, which is a little different for me. The ZR2 just had a dial. My previous truck just had a switch. So I've never actually had a physical shifter where you can move it around. Then we do have, you know, the thing where you can kick it over and manually shift. Have the little media center here with the USB-A, USB-C, and auxiliary port. There's a little door when you're not using it. This is where the auxiliary switches would go. To give you an idea of the size, these magnets are the size of a business card exactly. And I have a little holder for them. The holder would not fit, but those do. So it just tells you that this is like the width of it. Can lock the window, you know, for kids so they don't roll it down or whatever. We have a little 12-volt outlet here. All of our controls, has navigation. You can control all the climate stuff here or through the buttons down here. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. I do have to figure out where I'm going to put my phone. In the old truck, I had a vent mount that was right here, and I really liked it because the screen was here, this was here, and I usually put my GPS and my streaming music over here. But the mount won't work on these types of vents. I saw they sell something where you can unbolt this tray up here, and they have a new tray you put in with a little mount right here. My sister got me a duck. I guess it's a Jeep thing. You got to have ducks, so I got a little football duck. I don't know if I want my phone up here. I don't want it in my field of view when I'm looking this way, and I don't want it blocking anything. If anything, I'd rather it be on this side, but lower. So have to come up with something like that. Have the pop holders there. My Samsung S22 Ultra phone fits perfectly in this little slot. You got another little pocket here. I added this already because I needed some more storage pockets. There's also this pocket. Kind of saddles it and goes across. Then this, it came as a set, this pocket to make the grab bar have a little something the passenger can put stuff in. I saw some people put like a vinyl decal design on here since it's like a smooth flat piece, so I might have to do that sometime. Might be cool. So it's got this thing they call Freedom Tops, and you got a buckle here, and then, you know, and they're just like T-tops, except for there's no bar in the center. When you take these off, it's open all the way across. The glove box is super tiny. You get 2 compartments on the center console, and also one of them has a lock on it because your key actually comes out and has a traditional key too for locking the glove box. And here again, probably good because you can take the top off and you can take the doors off, so you can still lock up a cell phone, wallet, whatever you have. Can we catch everything up here? I think we basically got everything. Oh, it also has this god-awful start-stop every time you go to a stop sign thing, and that button turns it off. So pretty much what happens is I'm driving, I forget to turn it off, then I go to a light and the truck turns off, and I say, God damn it, and I hit that light. So at some point I got to figure out how do you permanently disable that stupid thing. And taking the doors off is really easy. It's just a bolt right here and a bolt right here, and it even says right on it T50. Comes with a little toolkit that's in the glove box. You take those off, and you disconnect the wiring. This panel comes off. Take off the wiring and the little strap. I'm guessing you have to unbolt the stopper guy or whatever they call that. Haven't taken the doors off yet, but once I get the soft top, that's going to be the first thing on a nice day. Back door is pretty similar. You get a storage case for the front T-tops, the Freedom tops. And sometime we'll do a video showing you how to put them in there, because it was kind of a pain to do it the first time to figure it out. So I did get the all-weather mats. In the back, we have our little climate control vents. We have our window switches. We have USB ports. You have both USB-A and USB-C back here. We have 2 pop holders, and we have a 400 watt regular AC outlet. I love having that outlet. How cool is that? All about that outlet. Wish I would have got the one in the truck bed. I got to see if when you pull that cap off that was in the truck bed, if the wires are actually there or not. If the wires are there, then it's easy enough to get the accessory. If they're not, then I got to figure out what wiring harness is part of that option and how difficult is it, because it would be great to have an AC outlet back there. I would really enjoy that. So seats fold down. There's lots of, they were pretty creative with some of these storage compartments. Got a little strap here. So there's a cargo netting back here. I'm not really using that, but I got my cargo net that goes over the truck bed right here. Also, the whole top comes off, and here are the bolts for that. There's 6 bolts and then 2 at the top, and the entire roof will come off. And then if we lift up the bottom, have a bunch more storage here. We got a little compartment for holding all our bolts and stuff when we do take the doors or the top off. I got a little ratchet cargo bar. Got an inflator, some paper towels, a little power inverter, a tow strap, a bunch of stuff on this side. Then if we stroll over here, lay this seat down, you can see there's another compartment that I put all my ratchet straps in. It does have the center armrest with an additional pop holder if you want to use that. And this side comes up. You got a few more things, a little first aid kit, some bungee cords, one of these door steps that hook right there. I don't know, some other random stuff. Still figuring out what all needs to be in here. The longer we go, we'll figure out what's right about it. There's the speakers from back here. Of course, it's got the whole roll bar because the top comes off. One other thing about this is it didn't come with a hitch. It's weird because it has all the electrical for it, but it doesn't have the tow package, which I thought was weird. But again, part of my deal with the dealership is they're going to throw a hitch on there. So on Tuesday, getting the bed liner, getting the soft top, and getting the hitch installed. Another weird thing with the Jeep is you got these buckles for opening the hood. There's no hood latch under the dash. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And give you guys a quick look under the hood. Nice and clean. Not used to that. See how long it stays that way. It's sad I can barely reach high enough to get the hood prop in there, because that's full extension. Well, if I ever need to change the alternator, at least that's looks like an easy job. The battery's not under the cowl or something like some dreadful vehicles. Snorkel or no snorkel? Might need a snorkel. I didn't even realize the headlights look like the front end of a Jeep. Huh. The more you look, the more you see. Alright guys, that's it for me. That's the new 23 Jeep Gladiator. Make sure to subscribe. Stay tuned for more Jeep videos. See you next time.